Focus, team! We need to control this fire! Chef Ray, get the extinguisher! No, the foam! It'll ruin the dish!
Ashes with the darkest secrets hidden in plain sight. 3 years after her daughter vanishes without a trace from a late-night shift at a family-owned restaurant, Evelyn Ross sits down for a simple breakfast, only to find a clump of auburn hair floating in her soup, identical to her missing child's. This chilling discovery unravels a web of deception, obsession, and betrayal, forcing Evelyn to confront the unimaginable. Could her trusted brother-in-law be the monster behind it all? In today's video, we'll dive into this gripping, true-inspired tale of persistence, intuition, and the unbreakable bond between mother and daughter, while weaving in lessons on English vocabulary, idioms, and timeless wisdom that can empower your own life journeys. As we explore this narrative, remember that stories like this aren't just thrillers. They're mirrors to our own resilience, teaching us that sometimes the truth emerges from the most unexpected places, like a strand of hair in a bowl of soup. In the misty embrace of Haven Ridge, Oregon, a small coastal town with fewer than 10,000 souls, where the harbor's fog rolls in like a silent guardian each dawn, Evelyn Ross's world had been shattered 3 years prior when her 18-year-old daughter, Mia, disappeared during a late-night shift at Crossroads Bistro, the upscale restaurant owned by Evelyn's brother-in-law, Nathan Cross. This opening chapter delves into the haunting backdrop of the story, drawing parallels to real historical vanishings like that of Amelia Earhart in 1937, whose mysterious disappearance over the Pacific Ocean captivated the world and highlighted themes of unresolved loss and relentless search efforts, much like Evelyn's tireless quest. Evelyn, a 42-year-old widow with auburn hair that mirrored her daughter's vibrant locks, had become a shadow of her former self, plagued by insomnia and dark circles that spoke volumes about her unending grief. The town, known for its tightly knit community where everyone knew everyone's business, amplified the agony. Whispers of Mia's fate lingered like the persistent fog, turning every corner into a reminder of what was lost. Nathan, Mia's uncle and Evelyn's rock since her husband James's death in a car accident 5 years earlier, had transformed an old general store into a culinary haven with polished wood floors, elegant table settings, and an open kitchen that allowed diners to witness the magic of creation. Much like how historical figures such as Julia Child revolutionized American cooking in the 1960s by demystifying French cuisine through her TV show, teaching us that transparency builds trust, a lesson ironically twisted in this tale. On that fateful morning of February 17th, 2026, note the current time from user info, adding a modern touch. Evelyn sat at a corner table in the still-closed restaurant, golden sunlight creeping through wooden blinds, casting long shadows that symbolized the hidden truths lurking beneath the surface. She and Nathan pored over a mysterious letter postmarked from Honolulu, claiming a sighting of Mia working at a cafe under the alias May, complete with a blurry photo that ignited a spark of hope in Evelyn's weary heart. This moment captures vivid character development. Evelyn's defensive edge when Nathan suggests caution, revealing her emotional fortress built from years of false leads, newspaper clippings, and CCTV stills from the night Mia walked out at 2:17 a.m., never to be seen again. Philosophically, it echoes Socrates' pursuit of truth in ancient Greece, where questioning assumptions leads to wisdom. Here, Evelyn's refusal to dismiss the lead teaches us the idiom, clutch at straws, meaning to desperately seek any hope in dire situations, explained as deriving from the image of a drowning person grasping at floating debris. As the kitchen staff arrived, the rhythmic chopping sounds filled the air, a stark contrast to Evelyn's inner turmoil, and Nathan insisted she stay for breakfast, offering a special auburn soup with green broth and meatballs simmered for 8 hours, a dish evoking historical culinary traditions like albondigas from Spanish colonial times in the Americas, symbolizing comfort food that hides potential horrors. Evelyn's hesitation, her eyes drifting to the blue-striped aprons identical to Mia's, underscores her emotional development from grief-stricken paralysis to tentative reclaiming of spaces tied to memories, a modern relevance in trauma recovery therapies today. When a delivery truck arrived and the commercial oven broke, leading to a search for Evelyn's old borrowed oven in the basement, Nathan's evasive behavior about the locked storage room planted the first seeds of doubt. Marco, the head cook, and Evelyn descended into the dimly lit basement, its damp earth smell evoking underground resistance movements in World War II, where hidden spaces saved lives but here concealed darkness. Finding the oven missing and the storage room locked, Nathan's odd forgetfulness about the key, claiming he left it at home 3 blocks away, heightened tension, mirroring historical deceptions like those in the Watergate scandal of 1972 to 1974, where small lies unraveled empires. Evelyn's offer to fetch it was rebuffed firmly, showcasing Nathan's controlling nature, a trait rooted in obsessive love, philosophically akin to Plato's cave allegory where shadows deceive, urging us to seek enlightenment. Back upstairs, as Evelyn perused photos of Mia on her laptop, graduation day, dance recitals, family kitchen laughs, the waitress served breakfast, egg toast with herb butter, broiled halibut from the harbor market, and the fateful soup. The first spoonful revealed garlic and cilantro flavors, but deeper dips uncovered the auburn hair clump, identical to Mia's, sparking a gasp and chilling realization. No staff had that hair color. Was it a joke or worse? Evelyn pocketed it discreetly as Nathan returned, his casual dismissal of hairs on his spoon, flicking them to the floor, betrayed no shock, fueling her suspicions. His thunderous kitchen confrontation with staff echoed past family rifts, like when he struck James over a marriage comment, revealing a volatile temper akin to historical tyrants like Nero, whose obsessions led to downfall. Evelyn's trembling hands gathered her things, fabricating excuses to leave, church with Caroline on a Sunday, while Nathan's slip about the auburn hair and green soup confirmed he noticed the color, a slip-up exposing his guilt. Driving to the police station, Evelyn clutched the evidence, her mind racing through impossibilities. Had Mia never left the restaurant? This chapter's emotional arc from hope to horror teaches universal wisdom on trusting instincts, much like in English. Learning where idioms like gut feeling, an intuitive sense from the belief emotions reside in the stomach, guide decisions. Incorporating modern relevance, stories like this parallel real cases, such as the Elizabeth Smart kidnapping in 2002, where family involvement shocked the world, emphasizing vigilance in relationships. As Evelyn confronted skeptical officers with the hair, insisting on checking the storage room, we see her growth from passive mourner to assertive advocate, a lesson in empowerment. The police humored her, finding the room cluttered but empty, no signs of habitation, yet Evelyn's doubt lingered, setting the stage for deeper revelations. What if the key to unlocking your own mysteries lies not in external evidence, but in the courage to question those closest to you? How might embracing that truth transform your life? As the fog lifted over Haven Ridge, revealing a deceptive clarity that mirrored the unfolding deceptions, Evelyn's quest intensified, blending historical echoes of perseverance like Harriet Tubman's Underground Railroad escapes in the 19th century, where hidden passages saved lives from bondage, with the modern psychological insights into trauma bonding and Stockholm Syndrome. Refusing to accept the police's dismissal at the restaurant, where Daniels gently suggested the hair might be hers or a cruel prank, Evelyn returned alone to the basement, her heart pounding like a war drum from ancient battles, determined to uncover what official eyes missed. The storage room, now unlocked post-search, felt like a tomb of secrets. Dust motes danced in the dim light from a small window, evoking the catacombs of Rome where early Christians hid from persecution, teaching us about resilience in adversity. Methodically moving boxes, many empty, a detail hinting at Nathan's preparations for flight, Evelyn discovered deep floor scratches from dragged heavy objects, perhaps the wooden stock Mia later described, and a darkened wall section from prolonged leaning, physical scars of captivity that paralleled the emotional scars in survivors' stories today. Philosophically, this evokes Epictetus's Stoic teachings from ancient Rome, emphasizing control over reactions amid uncontrollable events, a wisdom for English learners where the idiom "scratch the surface" to barely begin investigating from mining metaphors applies to Evelyn's deeper probe. Behind stacks, she found a small food elevator, a dumbwaiter connecting to the kitchen, its existence a nod to Victorian-era inventions in grand homes for discreet service, now twisted into a tool for Mia's desperate signal. Imagining Mia using it to send her hair, Evelyn's emotional development surged from doubt to conviction, a vivid moment of maternal intuition triumphing over logic. Further exploration revealed a metal cabinet with an empty gun box, foam molded for a handgun now missing, a chilling find reminiscent of historical assassinations like Abraham Lincoln's in 1865, where concealed weapons altered fates, underscoring modern gun control debates. Clutching the box, Evelyn confronted the staff upstairs, her voice rising in desperation. The restaurant fell silent as she demanded truth, tears streaming, insisting Mia's hair proved captivity. Marco's defensiveness cracked under pressure, but it was Michelle, the mute dishwasher, who stepped forward with sign language, translated by a waitress, revealing she witnessed Nathan removing a auburn-haired woman from the storage room, rolling her under the basement floor via a crawl space, then driving toward the quiet harbor. This breakthrough moment, Michelle's apology for fear delaying her, highlights themes of courage and vulnerability, akin to historical whistleblowers like Daniel Ellsberg with the Pentagon Papers in 1971, exposing truths at personal risk. Evelyn, heart exploding with urgency, instructed Marco to call police while she raced to the harbor, dialing Detective Morgan en route, gasping out the horrors. The quiet harbor, with abandoned warehouses and private docks, evoked ghost towns from the gold rush era, where fortunes vanished overnight, symbolizing lost dreams. Spotting Nathan's black sedan, Evelyn crept closer, adrenaline fueling her like caffeine in a student's all-nighter, here, explaining the idiom, on pins and needles, anxious, from the prickly sensation of sitting on sharp objects. Confronting Nathan alone, his initial surprise morphed into cold admission. It's too late, the ocean for her, revealing his obsessive love since Mia's childhood, twisted into possession after James's death, a confession echoing historical cases like the Lindbergh baby kidnapping in 1932, where ransom masked deeper motives. Struggling free as police and staff arrived, drawn by Michelle's tip, Evelyn dove into the cold water, spotting Mia bound and waded below, her auburn hair floating like a tragic halo. Lungs burning, she tugged ropes futilely until an officer plunged in, knife severing bonds, pulling them to surface, where CPR revived Mia amid cheers. This rescue, with Nathan disarmed and ranting his deranged love, "If I couldn't have her, no one could," marks emotional climax, teaching universal wisdom on obsession's dangers, linked to English phrases like green with envy, jealous, from Shakespeare's Othello, where envy is a green-eyed monster. Mia's revival, eyes fluttering to whisper, "Mom," solidified their bond, a modern testament to parental love surpassing odds, as in real survivor tales like J.C. Duggard's 18-year captivity ending in 2009. As paramedics whisked them to hospital, Evelyn's reflection on never giving up inspires personal growth, connecting to language learning where persistence masters complex grammar. The chapter's philosophical teaching draws from Confucius's emphasis on filial piety, urging harmony in families, yet warning against blind trust. In the ambulance, hand in Mia's, Evelyn pondered the betrayal, her growth from isolated grief to communal hero evident in staff support. What shadows in your own relationships might you need to illuminate, and how could confronting them lead to your greatest liberation? At the hospital, amid the antiseptic hum and beeping monitors, Mia's recovery unfolded like a phoenix rising from ashes, drawing historical parallels to Joan of Arc's resilient spirit in 15th century France, where faith and conviction triumphed over captivity and trial. Dr. Patel's examination revealed malnutrition, dehydration, ankle bruises from restraints, first wooden stocks evoking medieval torture devices, then leather shackles, and mouth scarring from gagging, plus sedative exposure, but no sexual assault, a mercy amid horrors. Evelyn sobs at. The images underscored her emotional depth, evolving from searcher to protector, philosophically akin to Aristotle's virtue ethics, balancing courage and prudence. Mia's awakening, disoriented yet resolute, led to her testimony. Confined in the storage room, ankles stocked allowing minimal movement, explaining floor scratches and wall discoloration Evelyn found. Last week, Nathan switched to shackles fearing infection, enabling Mia's lockpicking with hidden tools, a resourceful act reminiscent of Harry Houdini's escape artistry in the early 20th century, teaching ingenuity under duress. Hearing Evelyn's voice that morning, Mia broke free briefly, using the dumbwaiter to signal Michelle, who aided in placing hair in the soup before returning her. Nathan's agitation upon discovering the break, grabbing the gun, and drugging her for relocation to the crawl space then harbor, painted his descent into madness. His confessions of saving Mia for a new life, funded by the restaurant yet delayed by debts, revealed obsessive roots from childhood favoritism, ignored as nice uncle behavior post James's death. This exposes societal blind spots, modernly relevant in #MeToo movements highlighting familial abuse. Mia's knowledge from overheard news of her disappearance fueled hope, echoing historical survivors like Natasha Kampusch's 2006 escape after 8 years, emphasizing mental fortitude. Detective Morgan's assurance of Nathan's life sentence for kidnapping, imprisonment, and attempted murder brought closure, while staff visitors, Marco, Michelle with flowers and teddy bear, apologized for ignorance, closing the restaurant indefinitely, a collective healing. Michelle's signs of regret for not acting sooner, yet saving the day, teach forgiveness and bravery, with idioms like speak up, voice concerns from advocacy roots, vital for English learners. Evelyn's promise of therapy and support marked her final emotional arc to healer, connecting to universal wisdom from Buddha's teachings on suffering's end through awareness. As Mia slept, Evelyn vowed eternal protection, reflecting on love's power over evil. How might recognizing subtle signs in your life prevent tragedy, and what role does forgiveness play in your personal rebirth? In the aftermath, as Haven Ridge's community grappled with a scandal, Evelyn and Mia's story became a beacon of hope, intertwining historical lessons from the Salem witch trials of 1692, where hysteria masked truths, with modern calls for awareness in missing persons cases, like the over 600,000 annual reports in the U.S. Their bond strengthened through therapy, court testimonies solidifying Nathan's fate, his obsessive rants in custody exposing a fractured psyche. Evelyn's instincts, from the soup hair to basement clues, taught trusting, mother's intuition, innate parental wisdom, idiom from folklore. Mia's resilience, picking locks and signaling, inspired empowerment workshops, linking to English learning via storytelling for vocabulary building. Philosophically, it echoes Kant's categorical imperative, act as if your maxim were universal law, condemning Nathan's selfishness. Staff's cooperation and Michelle's courage highlighted communal responsibility, a message for today's isolated digital world. Evelyn's reflection on never separating again underscored love's triumph, urging viewers to cherish relationships. What unbreakable bonds in your life deserve nurturing, and how can stories like this fuel your pursuit of truth and growth?